Hi guys, Kris here, and good morning. The thing I want to talk to you guys about today is my origin story. And the reason for the origin story is to get a little bit of background as to why I'm doing this. So, without further ado, alright, let's go. I was a new-time father and husband, um, and I was trying to make ends meet for my wife and family by working 8 to 12 hours a day. On top of that, my wife was also working a part-time job, and we are a one-vehicle family, by the way. I would have to get up at 3:30 in the morning to be to work by 4:30. I'd have to work my shift, come home, get my wife, race her to work. Then I would have to go to my mother's, pick up my daughter, bring her home, take care of her, make sure she had her diapers changed, when they needed to be, and make sure she was fed when she was hungry, and spend as much time as I could before I'd have to put her to bed and put myself to bed to take a nap to go get my wife from work. Now, after we would get up, I'd have to get my daughter up, get her ready, especially being in the wintertime, get, her coat on and everything so she's nice and warm. And doing this was interrupting her sleep pattern, by the way. I imagine quite a few of you have had to go through this, or if not, it sucks. So, like I said, I would get her up, we would get her in the car, and I would go to pick up my wife. That's the time that me and my wife would take and try to talk about, as much as we could about the day so that we could catch up and, at least try to keep the communications going. And I would bring them both home. We would have to come upstairs. Now, mind you, we have to live with someone else, and it's not fun. So like I said, I'd have to get them up here, get my daughter back to sleep, which sometimes was, a nightmare. And don't get me wrong, I love my daughter to death. But, pain in the butt to get to sleep sometimes. And, once she'd get to sleep, I'd spend a couple minutes, maybe 15 at the most, with my wife before I'd have to go to bed myself. And then have to get up and do it all over again. And I was not only struggling with that, but I was struggling with what my father-in-law would like to call Westbeing. It's working, eating, sleeping, and paying bills. Have you guys ever felt like that? It's like the only thing you do. It's not fun. It's not a way to live. But anyways, and I felt like I didn't have enough time in the day because of that. I'd be doing what I had to do to ensure our survival for my family, and on top of it, provide for them. And I was struggling with time with them. So as time was progressing, I was getting more and more frustrated, more and more depressed. I was getting frustrated at my family. I was getting frustrated at the fact that we had to live with someone else. Still do. We're working on moving, by the way. And I'm struggling with the bills. Trying to keep them in balance, making sure I make them on time and not have to incur another fee of any sort. A pain in the ass. And I started to feel like the price just wasn't worth what I was paying. And I felt like I was getting nowhere with all the hours I was putting in. I was providing for my family, but I was losing time with them. Time that, to me, was essential. Then out of nowhere, I get a call from my bank. And they're telling me that I'm still default on a loan for my previous vehicle. It was a 2000 Chevy Trailblazer. I had bumped someone on the highway my foot slipped off the brake pedal as they were slamming on their brakes, and I kind of hit them. And after the report and everything, I was okay to go. But I had gap insurance on it, and I talked to my agents about it, and they told me I needed to get a hold of my gap insurance company or whatever, and I would call them, and then they would send me back to the insurance company. Then it was just a runaround process that they just kept doing to me, right? And they did this for so long that I literally got stuck with the bill, an almost $2,000 loan. I mean, I know that doesn't seem like a lot to some people, but to me, who's having a penny pinch all the freaking time, it's a pain in the ass. So I had to tell my wife about it. And as I'm telling my wife about it, I just see her heart breaking right before me, which in turn is breaking my heart. So I reached out to a friend, and I told him what was going on. He's my best friend, my brother, Stefan. And I told him what was going on, how we were feeling like we weren't getting anywhere, not being able to spend time with our family. We were losing time with each other and everything else. And so we told him. And now, mind you, the day before, he had texted me saying, "Hey, bro, I wish you'd seriously discuss with your wife relocation." I knew what he was wanting because we had been talking about it for a while, and I just was too scared to take that step. So he sent me about 12 hours of material, videos mainly, and I got through most of them. Then we set up at a weekend with my buddy, and we stayed with his family. And while I was there, we got a lot accomplished. When I came back, it's like everything was coming back. I was feeling suppressed, or not suppressed, but like everything was coming back onto my shoulders. Oh, now we gotta get back in the fast lane of my life that I'm still in, and I dragged my feet on it. I hit a wall, and I was afraid to ask for help. I was afraid to face my fears. I was afraid of commitment. And I talked to my wife about all this, of course, and she's like, "Yeah, I've been waiting for you to say something." I'm like, "Are you serious? I could have asked this whole time." And it's the same thing with Stefan. I was afraid to ask him questions. I was afraid he was going to abandon me. And I don't know where the fear stems from because he's never been like that with me. But so, like I said, over that weekend, we had set up my accounts. We had set up my website. We had set up a webinar script that I'm still currently working on. And we got the ball rolling. But like I said, when I hit that wall, it was time consuming. Letting my fears consume me for that long. So to overcome this, I had a phone call with Clarence White Jr. and we had talked about it. He pulled all the fears out of my head. It was like I said, it was an hour and a half. And I would like to make sure that this is known first, that he did not want to tell me what I needed to do. He told me what I was able to and prepared to do if I wanted to take that step. So the following day, I quit my job, and I am now on the path to working towards my success and wanting to help others to do the same. And I hope that you guys want to ride this journey with us. If so, hit subscribe or click the link below. Let me know how you feel. Send some comments, some feedback. What's your fears? What's holding you back? What can we hope to overcome? You guys have a great day.